got some rather interesting and some of you guys it's probably a little funny. The Cleveland Browns left tackle Jedrick Wills Jr. and their wide receiver Rashard Higgins were cited for drag racing. Yeah, I know. I know Browns. You haven't been in the playoffs in almost 20 years, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, they were both cited for drag racing Tuesday morning, which was yesterday, and they were and the citation occurred in Westlake, Ohio, which is about 10 miles away from the Browns practice facility. Both were pulled over around 9:30 a.m. and were each given $124 tickets. Now, here's where it gets a little juicy. The police conducted a probable cause search in one of the vehicles for a suspected marijuana joint. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's like a smaller version of a blunt. Anyway, that's not important. But it's unclear which car had the joint, and the police did not specify how fast they were going, which is also interesting to me. That's another interesting thing to me. Two things were said about this. I want to start with Rashard Higgins first, because this is I don't know, man. This is a little funny to me. He said this via Twitter. The first thing he said his quote foot slipped. And the second thing he said, this is where it gets funny. He said he was, quote, trying to get away from COVID. Since then, both tweets have been deleted, so you probably won't even find them on Twitter, but you can find them on Google. I'll leave a link to those in the description down below. And the team spokesman spoke out about this and said, quote, "We are aware of the incident. We will gather more information and handle this matter appropriately." This was written by Jake Trotter, who is an ESPN staff writer. You know what, Mario? I'm going to start with this, because I've been in a car accident before with reckless driving. A lot of people have. All right, I get it. Cleveland's celebrating. The Browns are in the playoffs finally. It's been 20 years. All right, I understand. But there's limits to having fun. All right, and again, we don't know how fast they're going. If they're drag racing, they were probably going over 100 miles an hour. I could be wrong, but that's just me. Look, guys, if you're gonna have fun, do it right. Take this as a lesson. All right. And not to mention, there was a suspected joint in there. I'm not saying if they actually did do it. That's just what they say. We gotta go by that. So we don't know if they were actually smoking or not. We don't know that, because they didn't specify what car had the joint and if they were actually doing it or not. All right. So take this as a lesson. I mean, if you're gonna have fun, fine. I ain't got no problem with that. But here's my problem with this: you're drag racing. Think of all the here's the thing with car accidents, and this is something a lot of people don't understand. A lot of car accidents happen because people drive reckless. They drive fast. They don't pay attention. They're on their phones while they're driving. They're under the influence, whether you're drunk, you're off drugs, or you're high as a damn kite. I don't care what it is. When you get into a car accident, you're affecting not only your passengers, who are most likely to die in a car accident than opposed to the driver. That is a proven fact. You can look it up right now. That is a proven fact. You are affecting the people who got into the accident. And not only that, but you're affecting all of their loved ones. What if one of them dies? All right? Their friends, their family, they're affected by that, right? Whatever they were doing is affected by that too. You got to think about that. You really do. And again, I'm not going to say if they were under the influence. They didn't specify that. So we got to go off of what we have. But I will say this. You guys gotta take it easy, man. Especially when it comes to and I have a lot of friends that are like, just let us have fun. Let us drift in the driveways or the parking lots. That's why accidents happen. Because you get this car with over 700 horsepower and you think you're a speed racer. It doesn't work like that. You gotta have a license to be a true racer and all that nonsense. You guys. The point of the story is you guys gotta take it easy. And I know I'm sounding like a 50-year-old dad, and I don't really care, to be honest. I'm just looking after the safety of everybody else. And when you're a driver, your biggest responsibility is to take care of your passengers and the people around you and make sure that they're going to stay safe too. So take this as a lesson, people. Just don't do stupid things like this, please.
Well, before I give my opinion, let me ask something. Is the NFL or the Cleveland Browns, are they investigating any of this?
Yes, the team spokesman from the Browns said that they're aware of the incident. We'll gather more information and we'll handle this appropriately. So it is being looked at right now as we speak.
Well, first, I expect a decision to be made before the wild card game at 8:15 Sunday. I expect there to be a decision. Here's my problem with all of it. Obviously, what you said is 100% correct, but here's my actual problem with it going to the NFL side, okay? Mm-hmm. There's no head coach, no defensive backs coach. 2 players are gone.
And
And now
it's
you
gonna
might
go
have a
on.
possible another 2 gone because of stupid decisions. See, my bad, 5. The other 5 guys who won't make it to the game, it's because they had COVID. You know
These
what I'm
guys
saying?
are
There's
doing
nothing
it
they
because
could
they're
have done with
coached.
that. Mother Nature, like you say, is gonna act the way it wants. They couldn't do anything with that. These two
They can do something with it.
really risk their team's chances of winning a playoffs. It's one thing to make the playoffs, right? It's another thing to win it.
Absolutely.
You got to win. There's no point in why make it to the playoffs if you're not gonna try winning. That's
Exactly.
exactly what the point is here. And so, with that being said, you really not only like obviously everything you said was absolutely correct through to a human point, but through an NFL point, you're risking your team's chances of success.
Right.
You know what this reminds me of? I'm gonna be real with you. This reminds me of when the Giants made it to the playoffs. The
And
Odell
then
Beckham.
they all went on the boat in Miami. Yeah. I remember that.
That's what it reminds me of. And and I know what you're saying these are two different things. One had like legal issues with it, and the other one didn't. Not the point. Here's my point.
You need to be on the field, watching film, doing whatever.
On the
Making sure you
field,
win.
watching film, practicing. Hell, if I know, okay, me and you we're from the north. It gets pretty
Right.
cold up here.
Right.
You won't tell me that somebody from Florida or South Carolina needs to come up here and play. You won't tell me the cold doesn't affect them.
Yeah, of course.
If you ask me, like, why don't you guys just ask me where Odell Beckham go to college? LSU. Tell me where LSU is. Louisiana. You
Orleans,
gonna tell
a
me
nice hot
Louisiana is
sun.
used to the cold?
Hell no.
Let's be honest here, but that's a different topic. Here's my point. What they should have been was on the field, practicing, watching film to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I get it, the Pittsburgh Steelers have not been the most consistent team this year. But
But
if
you
you think
never
they're
know
just
if
going
that's
to lie
gonna.
down in the playoffs, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
Okay, because unlike Kevin Stefanski has a little bit of success, but as a head coach, he has no success in making he has no success yet of making the playoffs, or he has no experience. Mike Tomlin has won a Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin has been to a Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin has won playoff games. Has won wild card playoff games. Has won a first round bye. He's done all this stuff as a coach.
Right.
You guys really need to be on your A game.
And it's just absolutely unacceptable, you know. And Rashard Higgins makes me laugh because I mean, like I said, the tweets were deleted, but they were still said. Said his foot slipped and was trying to get away from COVID. All
I
right.
feel like that's more of a joke.
I feel like it is too, but if it is a joke, that's the problem. You're making the playoffs. Why are you joking about this? And if it is true, if your foot really did slip, I don't believe that. If
No,
like I don't know, man. It's a very interesting situation. But if like you said, if it is a joke, and I'll talk about that right now. Like you said, you're in the playoffs. You should be more focused on getting onto the field, watching film, practicing this move, practicing that play, and all this other stuff. You shouldn't be drag racing on the streets. You know what I mean?
bro, I think that was more of a joke, and the reason why I say that is because it's like him saying, "Whoops, my foot slipped, and that's why I went 100." Ha ha ha, LOL. And then when he said, "I'm trying to get away from COVID," almost like he's trying to outdrive, trying to get away from COVID by driving fast enough away from it. I feel like that was more of a joke by him.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. My biggest what you said is absolutely true, and I'm not saying that's not serious. That absolutely everything you said is absolutely correct and serious.
Right.
My biggest problem with this, right, is the fact is through a professional standpoint. If you're a player, right, take like I'm gonna take Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna take Myles Garrett, for example. I'm gonna take Jarvis Landry. I'm gonna take I'm trying to think all these guys who Denzel Ward, I believe, yeah, Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams. These guys who made the playoffs for the first time in their career, or second. Well, Jarvis Landry is his second time, but and are trying to make a good playoff run. Let me take them for example. Okay, I think I would be really pissed if I'm busting my ass to win a playoff game and make it as far as we possibly can, because the goal is a Super Bowl. I'd be pissed if I'm preparing to win a Super Bowl and I got teammates that are doing this.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Now, there's been many examples of players who really just ended up like kind of slouching and they ended up still winning. For instance, Deion Sanders, the day before, a couple of days before the Super Bowl against the Chargers when he was with the Niners, he went to a club and partied, and him and Jerry Rice got into a big confrontation because Jerry Rice was a straight get to business guy.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. That's not the point. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're playing the Jets. I don't. That's not the point. The point is you need to be locked and loaded, especially now considering there's the playoffs, let alone whenever. You need to be locked and loaded, and you need to do what you need to do to win.
Absolutely.
Now, let me tell you something. Because of this, right? Because of Jedrick Wills and Rashard Higgins wanting to do all this immature, irresponsible stuff, right? Opposed to actually putting your time and effort into the game. I don't want to wish that the Browns lose, but if they lose, I hope Jedrick Wills and Rashard Higgins got a lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is because that's just unnecessary. That's just unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? Like what you said, it's immature, but mostly to me, it's unprofessional. How you got guys on that team who are busting their rear ends to win the Super Bowl, who
Absolutely.
are trying to win, especially let alone this wild card weekend. Because when you're in the wild card weekend, it's a lot harder to make the playoffs. You got to win 4 opposed to 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it is very messed up, and I think it is very cruel how you're literally putting not just your loved ones and your friends and family, but your team also at risk just to do immature, irresponsible things.
Absolutely. And so many people because of it have died because of these things. And I've always been heavily against reckless driving and all of that. I mean, I was in I mean, I don't know about you, but I was in an accident because of reckless driving. I'm not going to mention names because that's messed up, but like, I'm still here. Yeah, but what if I wasn't? The same thing with other people. I can speak on other people's behalf. It's messed up. And for you to be a professional athlete and do all of it, and not to mention, like you said, you have a bunch of coaches and players out because of COVID. And now there you go. You probably just got yourself in trouble too, and boom, you're probably going to be out too. You know what I mean? All these guys work so hard to do one thing and one thing only. The Browns haven't been in the playoffs since 2002. It's 18 years of a playoff drought, and you're just going to waste it because you want a drag race. I'm a real issue. I think the NFL needs to find them. The NFL needs to find them. They need to be
Agreed.
punished. I don't know what's going to happen with the law. I mean, they did get $124 tickets. The NFL does need to punish them, and they need to learn a lesson from this. They really do, and not just them, but you guys out there as well. Just don't be doing this stuff because this is what costs us a lot of lives in America. With that said, I hope these guys. We don't want to wish bad on them. Obviously, we just think it's immature. So with that said, we hope these guys learn a lesson and just good luck to them in the future. Just don't be doing this kind of stuff, guys.